Welcome to Cowork Talk. Join me in exploring coworking at its best, from member stories, coworking insights, and answering your Cowork Chilliwack inquiries. In today's episode, I sit down with Tim McAlpine, founder of Cowork Chilliwack, to uncover invaluable insights for running our space effectively. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Rebekah.
Well, I want to talk with you about a few things related to co-working spaces. You own Cowork Chilliwack, and I'd love to get your insights on how to start a co-working space for those who are interested. So would you be happy to share some of your insights with us?
Yeah. I started Cowork Chilliwack really as a use for the space. I'd been traveling a lot and seeing co-work spaces emerge in big cities and thinking, could I use some of the dormant space in our marketing agency for co-working? And with a city of only, close to 100,000 people at the time, I was wondering, would it work? And so we started small. And that's where I think it really worked. It wasn't, okay, we're going to outfit a 10,000 square foot facility with desks and chairs and walls and lots of expense, but just see, would it work? And so we started with 2 private offices, and I think it was 4 hot desks. And sure enough, it filled up. And so my advice there would be to start small and see if we can build.
How do you keep a co-working space simple? I'm sure many entrepreneurs, when they're starting a co-working space, they have all these ideas and it can be quite overwhelming. So how do you keep that small and simple?
You have to fill a need. And so for us, what we found was that Chilliwack likes private offices. They don't necessarily like the open offices. So in that case, we had a mini, a small, a medium, a large with real simple pricing, all inclusive, furnished. So you get a desk and a chair and a shelf unit, and just to really keep it simple and consistent, because you don't want people to have to invest a lot of their own money to outfit it with their own furniture. We do offer some flexibility if you want to tweak it a bit, but doing it as turnkey with one simple price that includes everything. We don't nickel and dime. There's no extra charges for coffee or printing at the end of the month. The price is the price, and so it's real simple that way.
Great. So how do you attract members? When you were starting the co-working space, what was your strategy around recruiting members?
We took a pretty slow build and didn't invest a ton in marketing. It's all been word of mouth, and because we're in a small center, it grew. Now, in larger centers, there are many co-work spaces, so you've got to do something to maybe be in a niche or do something a little bit different. But with us, we were filling a general need, and word of mouth just really carried it. And so we've been, from the get-go, pretty much full. And then that's led to one addition to another addition to now we're 12,000 square feet, 37 private offices, about 70 members. And we have no free offices. That's our toughest thing, right? That people are wanting to join, but there isn't any capacity. And so if you can not get too far out in front of it, and like if you had 20 free offices all the time, the business model is not going to work. You need to be having those near capacity with some flexibility to bring new members in.
So community matters, right? When people come to a co-working space, they want to feel a sense of belonging. How do you, through Cowork Chilliwack, create a sense of belonging?
I think one of the biggest things that co-working offers is a antidote to loneliness. And when you think of the work from home movement, yes, there's a lot of pluses of being able to just get up in your pajamas and go and work. But if you're only connecting through a screen with coworkers, I think you're left with this sense of loneliness. And so if you come to a co-work space and you're not connecting, I think it's even more lonely. So what's really important is to create those interactions, the water cooler conversations, having events. And to me, it's wonderful to see connections made between members and them connecting, doing business, being friends, growing from there. And so the more that you can facilitate connections with the membership, and I call them members, they're not customers. It's really important that this is really a community. And so we do our best to organize some of our own events and encourage members to organize some of their events as well.
That's nice. Can you share how you've overcome challenges with designing a co-working space and what you learned from those challenges?
It really is like a puzzle. We've got different sections. We've grown up over the years, so it's a bit of a labyrinth here. We've now got 12,000 square feet, and there are all sorts of members. And so if you know that this new member is going to be doing outbound sales, well, you better not put it next to someone who needs to do highly concentrated work, because that's not going to jive. So it really is kind of, where do you fit the folks, especially in a private office type of environment. We do have around 16 hot desk areas as well, and that's important that you have a conversation with new member prospects and what are they going to be doing. And it's probably not ideal to be doing Zoom meetings all day with open speakers and in an open office environment. And so it's really key to figure out where to put people and how's that all going to work. And there's going to be quiet areas or more traffic areas, and we're 2 floors, so mobility issues. Some folks can't go up and down the stairs all day, and so where are you putting them? And so that becomes a bit of a puzzle to figure out.
Yes, I'm sure it is quite a bit of a puzzle. Well, thank you for sitting down with me and having this conversation about sharing your insights on how to start a co-working space. Hopefully others who are out there who are looking to start a co-working space can learn a lot from you. So thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
I'm going to turn the tables on you.
Oh, okay.
You've been here for more than 3 months.
Yeah.
And in my mind have transformed our community. How's it going?
It's going really well. I find that connection with the members is key. Talking with them, asking how their day is, that goes a long way. And people want to feel heard and seen. So having a conversation about how their day is going and what can be improved in the facility is really, really important, because then they feel like their needs are being heard. Or, if they are thinking of something that maybe they didn't feel like they could have a conversation with anyone around, having me there to always lend an ear is really important. So I think that's a great element on how to begin the community and foster a sense of belonging and feeling like they're supported.
When we interviewed you, there was a definite immediate connection and understood that you really got what we were trying to do. But it was interesting because you had more questions for us than we had for you.
I did.
And you'd done a lot of research. Mm-hmm. What has surprised you getting going? Like, what did you think? I never thought that would be an issue, or boy, oh boy, what about that?
As you and I have talked before, emailing has been quite interesting. You think that when you get inquiries about the co-working space, that things are pretty black and white simple, but they're not. You're interacting with people who have questions that you can never prepare for. And that's part of the process of working here, is that you have to be thinking on your feet and thinking about all the things that might come up, right? So I've learned a lot through this role of, getting inquiries and oftentimes collaborating with you and thinking, okay, how do we approach this? So I never would have thought with starting this job that emailing would be the balance, the tricky element of this position. But honestly, it's nothing that has caused any stress or concern, but it definitely makes me feel very alert and aware of what could come up. And it helps me learn each and every day in my role, which is key. I don't want to be in a position where I'm doing the same thing day in, day out and not learning. So it's very exciting to get a request and collaborate with you and think, oh, how do we approach this? How do we accommodate? How do we communicate? So I'm very interested by that.
Yeah, email is hard, and it's tough to anticipate, okay, I've answered the question they've asked, but there's going to be another one. Can I answer that? Mm-hmm. Because all of a sudden you have a 22 email thread of almost like a slow motion text conversation. So what things do you see in the future? What would you love to see happen here at Cowork Chilliwack?
I would love to see more of an outdoor space for Cowork Chilliwack. I think that we've had a lot of members who have given us feedback about having a space outside, especially when the weather is nice, being able to step outside, have a phone call, have a chat with a co-working member. I think that would be a really cool endeavor that we could look into, is expanding more of the space, doing an outdoor facility of some sort. I think that would be a really great opportunity for Cowork Chilliwack.
Tell me a crazy story that's happened.
A crazy story.
You don't have to name names, but what has absolutely shocked you?
Honestly, dealing with clients from other members here at Cowork Chilliwack. I mean, interacting with people who you've never met and they don't know you, and you're coming in and you're a representative of the business, and people are asking oh, how do I sign this and how do I do this? And asking questions that are not within my expertise is always a bit of a challenge. But that is something that I encounter daily, of people coming and asking questions that they think I know and I'm not in the position to answer. So that's been an interesting ride.
Cool. Well, thank you, Rebekah.
Yeah.
I appreciate your honest answers.
You're welcome. Thanks for tuning in to Cowork Talk. Stay informed, stay productive, and keep co-working. Until next time.